Today in Algebra, we're working on writing equations in slope-intercept form when you're given 2 points. Now, yesterday we worked on writing equations in slope-intercept form when you were given a point and the slope. Well, today you're going to be given 2 points. So we're going to add one additional step. The two things you need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form are the slope and the y-intercept, those two items. So when you have 2 points, you're not given either one. But the first thing that you can do is from your 2 points, the first step is to find your slope. And do that by taking the change in y over change in x. Okay, then the second step follows just like what we did yesterday. We're going to find out what our y-intercept is by plugging in the ordered pairs from one of the points. And it doesn't matter which one you choose. We're going to plug in the x-coordinate and then, or excuse me, the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate in, as well as the slope, which you just calculated, to find out what the y-intercept is. And then the last step is to write it in slope-intercept form. Let's give this a try with an example. We're going to write an equation of a line that passes through the points 2, 4, and 3, 1. The first step is we need to find our slope. To find our slope, we're going to do the change in y over the change in x. 1 minus 4 over 3 minus 2. And I get negative 3 over 1, which is the same as negative 3. So our slope in this equation is going to be negative 3. Okay, the second step is to find our b, or our y-intercept, and we do that by picking one of the points to plug in. Now, I usually try to pick the order pair that has probably the smaller numbers or the easiest numbers to work with. In this case, it doesn't look like they're going to really make too much difference. I'm going to pick this order pair. If there's usually an error that is made, it's you pick from one ordered pair, and then for the x, and then for the y value, you switch them. So you need to be really careful and just pick one of the points and identify which one of the ordered pairs you're going to use. So we're going to plug in 4 for the y, and y equals mx plus b. I'm going to have my slope, which is negative 3, plugged in for the m, and your x is a 2 plus b. Okay, then we do the math. This is a negative 6, so I need to add 6 to both sides. And I get my y-intercept, or my b, is 10. And then the third step is to write it in slope-intercept form. Y equals, my slope was negative 3, so negative 3x plus 10. Now, would it have mattered if I had chosen the other point? Let's just check it and see. My y would have been 1 equals negative 3 times your x, which is 3, plus b. I get negative 9, so I must add 9 to both sides, and I get my b as 10. So you see, it really doesn't matter which point you're going to use. Just make sure that you're consistent and use the order pairs for x and y from one point only. Now it's your turn. Try to write an equation of the line that passes through the 2 points, negative 4, negative 2, and negative 5, negative 6. When you're finished, let's compare with your partner, and then I'll come around and check one of you. Okay, the first, I need to find my slope and the y-intercept. Okay, to do so, to find the slope, I must find the change in y over change in x. Negative 6 minus a negative 2 all over a negative 5 minus a negative 4. And I do the math. I get a negative 4 over negative 1. A negative 4 divided by negative 1 gives you a positive 4. So that's our slope. Now to find the y-intercept, what do I do? Okay, you're going to plug in one of the points. I'm going to choose this one. So my y is a negative 2. My slope is 4. My x is negative 4 plus b. What's the next step? Okay, multiply and I get negative 16. Now what do I do? Add 16 both sides, good. And I get 14 equals b. All right, what's the next step? Write it in slope-intercept form. Y equals 4x plus 14. Final answer. Any questions? Okay, we're going to take a look at a couple different examples and make some observations about these. I want you to look at A. I want you to try this, write the equation of the line, and then try B, and see if you and your partner can make any observations about what's different about these set of points. All right, so let's take a look at A. We need to know the slope, and we need to know the y-intercept. Okay, so to find the slope, I find the change in y, okay, 4 minus 4, over the change in x, negative 2 minus 3. And I get a 0 over negative 5. So what is your slope? It is 0. It's not undefined. It is 0. Now, what's that tell you? If the slope is 0, on a grid axis, your line would be going horizontally. That's what it's telling you. Okay, so what is my equation then? Well, will it cross the y-axis? Well, let's see. Let's plug in a point. I know that my slope is 0, and I'm going to pick this order pair. So I have 4 equals 0 times negative 2 plus b. That's equal to 0, and I have 4 equals b. So what this is telling you is your y-intercept is 4 always. So what is the equation of the line? Y is equal to 4. So your final equation is y equals 4. And you notice that in the 2 points, the y coordinates were each 4. So that in all the ordered pairs that you're going to have on this line, the y is always going to be a 4. So that's how you know the equation is y equals 4. Okay, now you may have a little head start then on this one. If you notice, they each have the same x coordinate. But let's just go ahead and follow it like we've been doing. We're going to find the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so find the slope, I do the change in y over the change in x. And I get 1 over 0. Okay, I cannot do this. This is undefined, so your slope is undefined. Now, when you think of a slope that's undefined, we're going to be going up and down. It's a vertical line. So with that in mind, does it ever cross the y-intercept? No, it doesn't. There's no y-intercept. There's no b. So then your equation, as you look at it, oh, that must be then where x is equal to something. Given the 2 points, x is equal to negative 2, and that's your equation. So if you run into finding the equation of a line and you run into an undefined slope, you know that you will not have a y-intercept unless it's going along the axis, the y-axis. And then your equation will always be an x equal to a negative 2. Okay, let's take a look at your green sheet, your note sheet that I gave you, and see where we can identify these and take some notes on those. Any other questions on writing the equation of the line in slope-intercept form when you're given 2 points?